When it comes to sports fans, NBA fans, and specifically Laker and LeBron fans, their overall attitude can change week to week and even day to day. And for these fans, they never keep that same energy. As back in the summer, we were told ad nauseam Lakers had the best offseason, were the winners of the summer, Rob Pelinka was a genius playing 4D chess, and LeBron yet again had a chance to get ring number 5.
They are definitely one of the winners to me in free agency, as are the Lakers.
Wow, this team had more of a time to gel and mesh together. This is a 55-win team.
Ooh, we can beat anybody, anywhere, anytime. And somebody go, if we stay healthy, Lakers stay healthy, somebody gonna catch hell beating us 4 times in 7 games.
And watching clips like that, it really does make you wonder, how in a 3-week time period can you go from Rob Pelinka's a genius, LeBron's better than ever, the Lakers have tons of great depth, AD's the MVP, to now all of a sudden the Lakers, they stink, LeBron has no help, and no chance of getting his 5th ring. How does that happen? And LeBron's past stops in Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland again, and especially Los Angeles, he's blamed numerous players, the front office, and even the coaches. I mean, looking back at 2019, Luke Walton 100% was a scapegoat for LeBron James, despite LeBron himself late in the year activating playoff mode but still failing to make the playoffs. Look at 2022, a very similar thing. The Lakers missed the playoffs in large part due to LeBron James pushing for them to get Westbrook. Till this day, he takes zero blame, zero responsibility for getting Westbrook on the roster, and instead had Frank Vogel fired.
Parker, hello, you're fired.
Now, 2024, the same old cycle, as Darvin Ham now is apparently on the hot seat and the new scapegoat for LeBron James. I mean, they already tried D'Lo, the bench, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves for a little bit, but now Darvin Ham, of course, has to go and is the main problem that'll fix everything. I've never seen a single NBA player get so much support from the media, so much coverage for them, when he makes obvious mistakes and gets coaches fired constantly. And the fact the media and LeBron fans, they'll blame role players, co-stars, coaches, the front office, but never LeBron James, it is pretty telling. But of course, if LeBron does win a championship, it's he overcame all the odds, did it by himself, and was a one-man effort to get that ring.
He has no help. He has no help at all. And then again, the bigger issue for me is Vogel.
Well, maybe. You're just making excuses.
And one LeBron media narrative I always found pretty fishy is the overall idea LeBron James makes all of his teammates better. And why I found this kind of fishy is because LeBron fans constantly want their role players traded for not making shots, not coming through, and hitting big time buckets. And these role players, like a Cam Reddish, D'Angelo Russell, Alonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, those guys get blamed constantly. But if LeBron makes his teammates better, why are these guys so bad when playing with LeBron James? And for these so-called greatest of all time, why every single year is a revolving door of players coming in and out that suddenly stink when paired with him?
You stink.
And if Darvin Ham does get fired, that means LeBron James on Lakers' tenure would have 4 different coaches in 6 seasons. For Michael Jordan's entire career, he only had 4 coaches. And I mean, quite honestly, who would want the Lakers' job at this point? You're going to get zero credit like Frank Vogel and get blamed 24/7 like Darvin Ham or Luke Walton. There's literally no upside, and it's a lose-lose scenario. And one more media narrative that's kind of been debunked this year is LeBron James never has had a quote-unquote great coach. That's 100% false in hindsight. As looking at Eric Spoelstra, down in Miami, he was a great coach in the moment, and nowadays is even better. But one has to ask, if LeBron got his way in 2011, having Spo fired, would Spoelstra even be relevant in 2024? Probably not. And a similar thing for Jordan Phil Jackson. Imagine if MJ in 1988, even 1990, tried to get Phil Jackson fired or leave the Bulls and not re-sign with his contract. Phil Jackson quite possibly will be a Jerry Sloan type figure who was a great coach but never had a championship or championships. But because MJ stuck through the tough times, Phil Jackson is a legend and the greatest coach in NBA history. And for someone like Scottie Pippen in 1990, it is absolute lowest, shooting 1 of 10, having 2 points in a Game 7 of the East Finals. Imagine if MJ after that tried to get Pippen traded for a more established star or a friend like a Patrick Ewing. Michael Jordan never asking for players meddling in the front office, in the long run paid off, and was beneficial. And I'd argue for LeBron James, the constant meddling he does jumping ship every 4 to 5 years, in all actuality, has been a detriment to his career and his overall legacy. As unlike Jordan, not once has LeBron James built a dynasty and sustained it for nearly a decade. And when talking about player empowerment, it kind of does make me laugh. People like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, kind of the player empowerment poster childs. They absolutely love, to join teams, leave teams, and do that constantly. And even more so than that, both KD and LeBron James love meddling in the front office, giving input on trades, input on signings, virtually every summer. But here's the catch. If those signings, trades, those players signed off on, don't come through, those guys take zero responsibility and zero blame for that happening. That's why the player empowerment era, it is largely a joke. Because these players, they put one toe in that pool, try to be a pseudo GM, make some moves, but if they fail off, quickly pull that out, say they weren't involved, had nothing to do with it, and take zero responsibility. And looking back at the Lakers, one of LeBron's big-time scapegoats, of course, has been Anthony Davis. But AD this year, unfortunately, can't be the scapegoat, as right now, is playing his best basketball since the NBA bubble. Averaging 25.2 points, the highest on the team, 12.5 boards, 3.4 assists, 2.7 blocks on 55.2% shooting. Historically speaking, Anthony Davis, he is Mr. Glass. But in 2024, so far, has been healthy and very consistent. And looking at someone like Austin Reeves, LeBron James' backcourt mate, has career highs in points, assists, and rebounds. D'Angelo Russell, out of his career, shooting second best from 3 and the field. And someone like Rui Hachimura, compared to last year's, improved in nearly all aspects. And the cherry on top, the Lakers this year have a top 10 defense, ranking number 8. So I gotta ask you guys, having that supporting cast, Anthony Davis only a top 10 player, how does LeBron James not have enough help? I'm not saying LA is the best team in the world, the 96 Bulls, but this team at worst should be the 8th seed in the Western Conference. And when looking at the media, people like Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, even a Chris Broussard, I don't want to hear the age-old saying LeBron James has no help, because just 3 weeks ago, you guys are praising him, saying he was better than ever in the Lakers, one of the best teams in the West, if not the best team.
I feel great about the Lakers' chances against anyone in the West outside of Denver.
And to make one minor point, I tried to tell you guys numerous times that Vegas Ring Pop Championship they won is one of the weakest and most meaningless championships of all time. I mean, playing Memphis without John Morant, the G League Jazz, the Portland Trailblazers, all that Vegas Ring Pop Championship was the Lakers beating up on mediocre or bad teams. At the end of the day, it means nothing because a month later LeBron fans are complaining that he has no help. Now, the last point I do want to make, when it comes to Michael Jordan on the Wizards at age 39 and 02, the first 35 games of the season, the Wizards were 18 and 17, which is one game better than LeBron's Lakers, who are 17 and 18. Jordan 02, yes, he was the same age, but his teammate help was drastically worse. As in Washington, he had no top 10 player and supposedly the best depth in the NBA. As in Washington, he had Hubert Davis, Popeye Jones, Kwame Brown, Chris Whitney, and Jahadi White. Not exactly a super team of the 2024 Lakers. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.